Hello everyone, tonight on our program.
Of particular mention in this regard is the reconsideration of the $1 million United States minimum capital requirement for trading enterprises under Section 28(2) of the Act.
The announcement, which the Ghana Union of Traders Association plans to resist, the association is hinting of a demonstration if government exempts Nigerian traders from the $1 million minimum capital requirement under the GIPC Act.
Not accept the use of the Nigerian prohibition list as a leverage to seek amendment of our sovereign law. It is totally unjust, unacceptable, and simply bullish.
There's more from a press conference held today. Also tonight, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry reveals about 3,000 companies in Ghana are nearing collapse due to unfavorable regulatory environment, including the present tax regime.
Chamber's assessment of the business performance of 3,000 companies in the country shows that the regulatory environment, that is taxes, interest rate, and so on, does not engender business growth and value.
Plus, green investments take shape as investments in energy sector shoot up. We hear from the Chief Executive Officer of the GIPC, Yofi Grant.
Solar, wind, biomass, and we even had discussions on wave energy to be generated from the sea. And more recently, I'm sure you've heard discussions of nuclear energy as well as.
My name is Darryl Kwao. This is Business Live. We've got details in a moment. Stay with us. Well, thanks for staying with us tonight on Business Live. The Ghana Union of Traders Association has descended on the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, for announcing that Nigerian traders will be exempted from the $1 million minimum capital requirement under the GIPC Act. Addressing the media, President of GUTA, Dr. Joseph Obeng, described the review as retrogressive and a slap on the faces of Ghana's traders. Now, we'll hear from him in a bit. But first, the Speaker of Parliament, what he said when he addressed the Nigerian House of Representatives recently.
I am particularly glad to indicate that they are with me on this trip and are ready to engage with their counterparts towards realizing the intentions expressed in the Act. The communique of 31st May 2021 meeting suggested in part a ring-fencing of some of the thorny requirements of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act 2013. This was a laudable suggestion. Of particular mention in this regard is the reconsideration of the $1 million United States minimum capital requirement for trading enterprises under Section 28(2) of the Act. This is to facilitate regularization of the businesses of the affected Nigerian retail traders in the trade impasse. Equally commendable is a special concession to be applied to the requirement for the payment of 0.5% stamp duty on the capital investment required by both the Ghana Investment Promotion Center and the Registrar General's Department in respect of investment by foreign nationals.
Well, that's the announcement. The Ghana Union of Traders Association is not taken lightly. At a press conference today, they said they would go all out to resist the move to exempt Nigerian traders from the $1 million minimum capital requirement under the GIPC Act. President of the union, Dr. Joseph Obeng, said they would protest if they have to preserve the retail trade sector.
What all Ghanaians need to know is that this law has lived through successive parliaments and has even been enhanced in 2013, showing how very important it is. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to repeat, it is important for us to let the whole world to know that apart from Nigeria, no other ECOWAS member states, including Ghana, has prohibited any list of products under the ECOWAS trade liberalization schemes, ETLS. So we will not accept the use of the Nigerian prohibition list as a leverage to seek amendment of our sovereign law. It is totally unjust, unacceptable, and simply bullish in every sense of the word. Ladies and gentlemen, it should not be said that the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana, under the headship of Right Honorable Aban S.K. Babin, represented themselves without any regard for the concerns of the citizens and imposed retrogressive amendment of the GIPC law to please other nations rather than Ghanaians who are losing their means of livelihood and employment. In view of all the aforementioned, we will not accept the use of the Nigerian prohibition list as a leverage to seek amendment of our sovereign law. It is totally unjust, unacceptable, and simply bullish. We will prepare against any eventuality if we are left with no option than to take our destiny into our own hands and protect what it is legitimately ours as a sovereign people of Ghana.
President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, wouldn't mince words there. Well, tonight, some worrying figures, very concerning, from the Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The first Vice President of the Chamber, Victoria Hadja, has disclosed that about 3,000 companies are nearing collapse due to unfavorable regulatory environment, including the present tax regime. She was speaking at a tax sensitization program.
There is no gainsaying that it is the private sector that pays tax and not government. And as such, to improve tax administration, it will require regular engagement with private sector players. The Chamber's assessment of the business performance of 3,000 companies in the country shows that the regulatory environment, that is taxes, interest rate, and so on, does not engender business growth and value. At the recent Chamber CEO Business Forum, 3 main issues were pointed out in the areas of taxes, which I want to submit to the Commissioner General for his response. First, there is a requirement to pay 30% of a tax assessed during a tax audit before a taxpayer can make any objection to the assessment. This is enshrined in the Revenue Administration Act 2016, Act 896, requiring taxpayers to make a deposit of 30% of the assessed tax by the GRA. Our interactions with tax auditors shows that in some cases the assessment contains plain errors, yet taxpayers are asked to pay the 30%. This creates a lot of stress for taxpayers as they end up paying taxes on assessments that they are actually not liable for. These monies could have been used to support the working capital of the taxpayer. Second, there is delay in the refund application process. The tax laws allow taxpayers an entitlement over their excess tax payments, and this is by way of refunds. Nonetheless, the process of the refund is cumbersome.
Meanwhile, the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority says residents within plush urban areas are culprits in tax defaults. Speaking at the Ghana Chamber of Commerce Sensitization on Taxation, Reverend Amishadai Owusu-Amwa announced some incentives, including waivers for businesses and individuals that voluntarily filed their tax returns.
Find people who are above the age of 35 and below the age of 65 that leaves, their residences are in the top 10 affluent places in Ghana. Places like Laboni, Cantonments, East Legon, yet you don't find their names in the database. Fortunately for us, we do have their numbers, we do have the GPRS address, and therefore want to encourage that if you know that you have not been filing, we want to encourage voluntary compliance so that you take the opportunity and then you will come and then we will discuss and we'll see. And sometimes this is an opportunity also, because if we discuss and there are any liabilities which are previous, the waivers still are applicable. So you can take advantage and get the waiver before the end of the year, so that you don't wait till 2022 before we come to you, before we find out that, oh, we have been running the business for a long time and you haven't paid anything. So I want to encourage that we are working on this and we want you to come forward, and then we can together, as the Bible says, come let us reason together. But there are a number of things that we have done this year. We've talked about being able to file online. And today we are giving you the opportunity to file, to pay also online. And therefore we encourage that all our members should make sure that we use these channels in order to be able to file online and also pay online. We've recently talked about our cashless policy. I know previously we had 2 banks and we are all required to pay our tax to these 2 banks. Today we have come out of a system where over 23 banks are now allowed to collect both customs duties as well as domestic tax. And for these 23 banks, we are also allowed to use the various methods available to be able to pay. You can pay by Momo, you can pay by bank transfer, you can pay by SWIFT, you can pay by your card, and the various methods, and you can pay anywhere you are. Or you can walk to any of the banks and pay. The aim of this is also to make it more convenient for all of us, and to ensure that we're able to collect the monies also on time.
Well, turning to one of our other top stories tonight, Chief Executive of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Yofi Grant, has hinted that the country has made progress with investment in sustainable energy in recent years. Now, according to him, the energy sector saw a marginal increase in investments in renewable sources from the $2.5 billion increase in foreign direct investments last year. Yofi Grant was speaking at the Maiden Ghana Waste Fair in Accra, organized by the United Nations Development Programme and the Waste Recovery Platform.
The Made in Ghana Waste Fair has received support from the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation as a platform to dialogue on turning waste into useful resources. The Chief Executive of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, Yofi Grant, speaking on how to unlock green finance for waste management in Ghana, hinted that the country has more opportunities for investors in renewable energy despite the gains made so far. He says the country has made some progress in attracting investment into sustainable energy sources.
We have had significant conversations with investors who are looking at green energy, specifically solar, wind, what used to be, and of course hydro. Hydro is also renewable energy.
Speaking on the way forward for the country in managing waste, resident representative of the United Nations Development Programme in Ghana, Dr. Angela Lusigi, told Joy Business that young innovators must take advantage of the opportunities created by the organization to make wealth out of waste.
We hope that this will be an opportunity for other young innovators and even old innovators to see examples of what can be done with waste, so that we see more of this across the country.
Is it something that we are going to say the UNDP will be budgeting for on an annual basis?
UNDP always has an investment when it comes to environment and climate change, and the waste sector is one of our key areas of investment because of the circular economy. We want to see how we can ensure that we look at the whole product life cycle, right from bringing producers on board and bringing us as consumers on board as well. What are the investment decisions that we make? So there's a lot of work that we do, from sharing information to help people change their behavior. You and I should all start sorting our waste, because now we know that we can actually make money from our waste.
More than 50 waste recycling and management companies are participating in the fair, which is done through virtual platforms and limited physical appearances.
Watching Business Live, still to come, abandoning a potential career in international diplomacy to sell second-hand clothing. We'll bring you the story of Kofi Avinu, owner of Accra Fashion. That's still to come. Stay with us. Accra Fashion. Welcome back. Now, the first thing that comes to mind when you hear Kantamanto is used clothing. The sale of second-hand clothing is very common here in Ghana, but starting a second-hand store online looks much different now. At least Kofi Avinu makes it look different. He's abandoned a potential career in international diplomacy to give second life to used clothing. His startup, Accra Fashion, features on the Joy Business van tonight.
Hi, Joy Business Van. I'm Kofi Avinu, Creative Director of Accra Fashion. Welcome to our experience talk.
Accra Fashion is an online thrift shop, or what we call a second-hand clothes store.
So growing up as a kid, fashion and clothing was something I really liked. I like to see people wear nice clothes. When I meet people and they are wearing nice clothes, at the time I was a kid and I can't possibly buy clothes for myself. But when I see people wear nice clothes, it was really fascinating. And growing up, I grew to like fashion more and more.
Kofi's passion for fashion got him into modeling.
Selling of these clothes started when I went to Legon to do my master's. And I would normally go to class and I have my colleagues telling me, I like the shirt you are wearing. Where do you get your clothes from? And all that. And then at the time when I was doing my master's, I needed something to keep me more busy. I just didn't want to be any normal student. I wake up, I go to class and come back. No, I wanted more. And I wanted to do something, but I couldn't figure out exactly what. So this dawned on me when people were asking me, where do you get your clothes from? Your clothes are actually nice. Where do you buy them from? I figured I could make a business out of it.
And that he did whilst pursuing his master's in international diplomacy. He became the guy supplying his schoolmates with second-hand clothes.
Well, going into e-commerce, a lot of young people were now buying online. A lot of people, especially bankers, like corporate people, were in their offices. They didn't have time to go buy clothes. So I figured I should actually make this a bigger business. So I created a page.
Within months, Accra Fashion became a go-to place to check out and purchase thrift clothing on Instagram. The patronage of second-hand clothing is very high in Ghana. Kantamanto, in the central business district of Accra, is Ghana's biggest city for second-hand clothing. The market is always crowded. Rather than go there, Kofi is bringing a different feel to shopping for such clothing.
So my job is to go bring you the clothes, put a little fee on it. When you want it, you buy online and we deliver to you. They come in cheaper or like very cheap, but they come in as very original stuff. So rather than going to, let me say, going to the boutique next door, you buy a shirt, you wash probably once and the shirt is all worn out. You buy a second-hand clothes, it has longevity. You can wait for the next 1 year. You can wait for the next 2 years, depending on how you take care of it. So it just makes more sense for people to spend less on clothes that will keep, or that will take a long time to wear out, than to go buy something very expensive. That will take a very short time.
Kofi says patronage is boosted by his presence on social media, but it comes with its own challenges.
Number one is social media abuse. That's the number one. You have people calling you and like, you know, using unprintable words on you, like for one reason or the other. Number two, some people are on social media and maybe are doing similar businesses. People take money from people and don't deliver. So that affects your business too. So a lot of people want to buy from you, that by the trust. What shows if I send you money now or I pay for a staff online? What shows, you see a gentleman walking here, maybe he may not believe like this business actually existed or exists. So he will have to come here. So one of the challenges is internet fraud.
Accra Fashion has been able to build trust and clients keep coming. For Kofi, abandoning a potential career in international diplomacy to start this thrift shop is one of the biggest risks he's taken in life.
To be candid, like this business, I can say, is everything to me. In the sense that this is the only thing or one thing I can say I single-handedly did with my life. And it's a business today that has employed people. It's a business that keeps growing. It's a business that's putting food on the table of some people. So for me, it's more than like selling clothes.
Kofi is not totally ruling out dreams to pursue international diplomacy. For now, he's working to expand his business. And that's Business Live tonight. Thanks for watching, everyone. My name is Darryl Kwao. We're back same time tomorrow.